want me to? I'm gonna give you guys seats, okay?
Hey guys, watch out. Come here. John, you want to sit here?
Yes.
Come here.
Actually, if we get out of the way. You might want to sit here.
Your hands are done.
Oh, he is.
Oh, Mom dropped the hair top.
Would you guys prefer that the doors be shut?
Yeah, probably, just to keep the back light down. You can close the bar doors here as long as no one's coming and going.
Thank you very much.
Behind you real quick. You were
Yeah, we can get to that. Come on in, come on in.
Is everybody here? Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for coming this morning. I wanted to be able to speak to you just very briefly and introduce you to other members of the Manus family. Yesterday, while the Manus family was preparing for a dignified burial for Felix, the county had a news conference. This is the first time the county has made any sort of substantive statement with respect to Mr. Manus. And in yet another show of disrespect to this family, the Manus family was not given any prior notice of or invited to this press conference. Like before, everything this family has learned has been through the media as far as county government goes. There is a proper time and place for everything. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, this family will spend celebrating the life of Felix Manus. There will be visiting hours today from 2 to 4 and 6 to 8 at the Duskus Tailored Funeral Home, where there will be a celebration of Felix Manus' life tomorrow at 11 a.m. He will be buried at Lakeside Cemetery. The family is focused on laying their beloved Felix to rest today and tomorrow. Therefore, we will not address until early next week the propaganda spread by county government yesterday. We will respond, and we will not be bullied. This family is entitled to respect whether the county wants to give it to them or not. The purpose of this news conference is to announce the launch of the GoFundMe page entitled Dignified Burial for Felix Manus, where our goal is to raise $22,000 to pay for the dignified burial and final expenses of Mr. Manus. I am very grateful to announce that Mr. Owen McCormick, owner of the Erie Bayhawks, has made a leadership gift to kick off this fund and is encouraging other members of this community to join, to come together to support the Manus family in their time of need. Thank you, Mr. McCormick, owner of the Erie Bayhawks. Thank you. I certainly understand the desire to talk about yesterday's press conference, but we're not going to talk about it today or tomorrow. But I assure you, we will respond next week. This is his family. These are his children. This is his legacy. And again, the purpose today is to get community support for the GoFundMe page for a dignified burial of Felix Manus. Thank you.
So John, am I to understand you're not answering any questions about what the county said yesterday?
Correct. And that's out of respect for this family. We're not going to spend today and tomorrow fighting with the county. We're going to spend our time doing what should be done, celebrating the life of Felix Manus. And nobody's going to interrupt that or disturb that, period. But we will respond next week.
I wonder if we could ask a couple of questions to the family about Felix.
Sure. As long as it's just about...
Sure. May we talk to you first? That's okay. I know you don't want to respond to the allegations, but just tell us a little bit about Felix and how you have a large family, how difficult it's been to cope the last week or so.
Felix is a good dad. When he's home, he's always making the kids a big breakfast and playing with Chloe a lot. The last week, it's really hard because everywhere in my house I see Felix. Everything I do with the kids, I just see Felix with us, and to be honest, I don't know. I can't even think about how life is going to be without him right now.
Kind of the same question for you. I know it's a
This
difficult
is
time.
his oldest daughter.
I know it's a difficult time for all of you, but how are you trying to cope? How are you trying to go on without Felix?
We're just trying to remember him for who he was and the impact he made on all of us, and just keep our spirits uplifted. He was a good man, and it's just been hard. He always has his grandchildren, and they love him. It's just, we're trying to stick together. That's how it's been working for us so far.
Can you introduce everyone who's here and their relationship to Felix?
You want to do that?
This is Chloe. This is Felix's daughter.
And if I'm a little biased, have you ever seen so much prettiness in one little person? Look at this. Look at that.
This is Andre. This is his stepson. This is Elijah, Felix's son. Edward, his stepson. Ariana, his daughter. Marisha, his stepdaughter.
Brianna, his daughter, and this is Leona, his granddaughter. We have another grandchild of his and my brother that will be in later on today. So.
It's a very close family. One thing that I've come to understand in the past couple of weeks is that this family is bound by love, and they continue to support and lift up one another in this most difficult time.
John, the GoFundMe goal is $22,000. You said for the funeral and final expenses. Funerals generally cost $7,000 to $8,000. What's the price?
I'm not sure where you purchase funerals for. They're significantly more expensive than that. Rest assured, so there's no confusion, that money goes completely to the funeral home and to pay final expenses, and is not related to any other expenses, including legal expenses. So, I don't want there to be any confusion about this. The money will go to the Duskus Taylor Funeral Home, and there's some other final expenses associated with this final time in the hospital. That's where the money goes. The funeral is more than $10,000.
But for the hospital, that's
The expenses that are associated like that, they are not for legal expenses or anything like that. They're all going to a dignified burial. Thank you for.
I'm sorry, one more. What was the amount of the donation by Owen McCormick?
It was $1,000.
How much has been raised right now?
Well, $1,000 because we launched it about an hour ago. But Mr. McCormick has already made his lead gift and has asked me to keep him posted because he wants to help this family. So, and he wants to encourage other people in the community to come together and to follow his example. All right? Sorry we couldn't talk about the other stuff, but it'll give you something to look forward to over the weekend. Thank you very much.